Hi there. Today I want to talk about something sensitive, something that I don't usually talk about, attraction between men and women. Because we are seeing now something odd, something strange happening. Apparently, if you go on a speed dating event, the women will outnumber the men in most cases. Sometimes it's extreme. I saw a video on YouTube, and I will say I have no experience myself with speed dating events, but I saw a video on YouTube. I've seen several actually, because the algorithm was feeding me that after I saw that one video. But apparently, you can have, like, I think it was one event, 80 something women and 10 men. But if you go online on dating apps, which I also have no personal experience with, it's the women who get all the attention. The women can just post a photo there smiling to the camera, and I guess they put on these filters and stuff, and they get loads of messages from men. So why is that? And also another thing is happening. Gen Z women are now hooking up with much older men. So age gap relationships are becoming a lot more common. I'll have to put my fake dragonfly on my hat because it scares away the deer loves flies. Yeah. By the way, my name is Bjorn. I live here in Norway. This channel is not really about men and women and all of that, I will put my website address on the screen, because when I have talked about this before, I have done that. The red pill bros, they like to steal my video. That's what they do, because they're such alphas that they can't really make their own content. So why is it like that? I think that the reason why men don't show up to these events, speed dating events, is that their personal experience is that there is nothing to gain from that. And this is a little bit difficult for me to talk about, because, well, it's not actually difficult, but there's a spider web here. Oh, yeah. I will just be honest with you, and as someone who's been around for a while, my observations are as follows. It's kind of sad actually, but it's not so common now that I see a woman that I find really, really attractive, like a proper beautiful woman. It's not so common that you see that anymore. It might be just me, I don't know, but obesity is a thing, and it seems to be becoming more and more common. Men get obese too, but I'm not noticing men in that way. so yeah, I'm just being honest with you here now, and it seems like as women get older, the weight just adds on. Not with everyone. There are lots of slim, athletic, wonderful, beautiful women in their 40s, 50s, 60s out there. But they are not the majority. And if you know, in Scandinavia it's not so bad, but if you go to like the USA, I've heard it's like obesity is just, that's the default, you know. For me personally, I don't like it when women are full of ink and metal, which also seems to kind of it just piles up, or it adds up as women get older. I don't like that. Maybe you like it, but I don't. And you know, you can be a wonderful, wonderful, sweet person, but it doesn't change. It doesn't change your physical appearance, right? So I'm talking about that physical attraction here. Now, by the way, this is I'm at a place here in the forest where the kindergarten, they come here and the kids play once a week in this area. And what I'm talking about here is actually quite important, because we need men and women to come together. And if men and women don't come together and form couples, we will have massive problems in the future, because then we won't have children, you know, or we won't have enough children. We will be dying out. So I think that a lot of this boils down to men not finding women attractive anymore. And it also has to do with the differences in opinions. Women have moved to the left politically, especially young women, while men have kind of stayed at the same place. And they say that men have been radicalized. That's actually not true at all. It's women, if anything. Women have been radicalized. Lots of misandry out there. That's, if you didn't know, you may have heard the word misogyny, but misandry is actually the hating of men. And that's very common, and it's totally fine, apparently. You can go online and hate on the men, and all your sisters, if I can use such a word, all the other women, they will say, oh yeah, I agree. And all the men who try to score some cheap points, they will say, oh yeah, I support that. Yeah, those men are just trying to hook up with those women. That's what it's about. But yeah, when it comes to the online thing, you know, it's obvious what's happening there. So the women get all the attention because the guys are just sitting there and they're sending out hundreds of messages to women who look half decent, hoping to get in touch with at least one of them. But why is it like they don't show up to these speed dating events? Why is that? I think it's because, and again, you know, you'll have to tell me in the comments if I'm wrong here, because I don't have any experience with dating sites. I don't have any experience with speed dating events or anything like that. But I think it has to do with men feeling that there's nothing to gain from that. That they will just meet these overweight, self-entitled women with an attitude. Is that the reality? I don't know. I think maybe not always, but I think that that's what the men are thinking, and that's why they don't show up. Women generally also have different goals compared to the men. Women are out there looking for safety. And what do I mean by that? Well, women are out there looking for a relationship. Okay? Women, I mean, it all boils down to our biology. Women can get pregnant, and because of that, it's ingrained in our biology, right? That women need a relationship. They need a man there who will support her while she is pregnant and while she has a child, a small child. So women, even though many will not admit this, they are biologically fine-tuned to seek relationships. When men go online on social media and dating apps, they are not necessarily looking for relationships. They're looking for sex. So, you know, a lot of the explanation lies in that. Men and women looking for different things. And when it comes to, I think I mentioned the how Gen Z women, I can't remember if I already mentioned it, but this change now we're seeing that where Gen Z women are now hooking up with much older men, like millennium men and even Gen X men, you know. That has to do with the same mechanism. Women, they want a relationship, and their experience might be with men their own age, might be that those men are not showing up for them. They're not acting like proper men. You know, what do I mean by that? Proper men in a relationship, you know, they're not, those men are maybe not making that woman, that young woman, feel secure and looked after, if you know what I mean. While an older man will be past that time in his life where he was just sleeping around, right? So he is actually looking for a relationship. Now, you know, there are lots of exceptions here. And again, you know, let me know in the comments, and I'm sure you will, if I'm completely wrong here. I'm not, like I said, I've never been on speed dating. I've never been on a dating app. So, you know, let me know if I'm wrong here. But I think there's something to what I'm saying here. I think I'm not that far off from the truth. Personally, I think it's very sad if it is true that so many of these young women, Gen Z women, they can't find partners their own age. I think that's sad. I think it should not be like that. Women have traditionally been preferring somewhat older men, but if you look at a couple where the man is maybe 45 and the woman is 25, like 20 years age gap, what that means is that if they stay together, she will become a widow, and she will be a widow for a long time at the end of her life, which is very sad. It can happen with couples the same age, you know, as well, but it's just how it is. It's just a bit sad. But yeah, if you fall in love, with someone older, that's just part of life, I guess. Yeah. Let me know if this makes any sense. I just thought I would share some words about it. I'm not an expert on this. Yeah. Okay. I'll see you maybe tomorrow. Okay. Bye-bye.